Hi, Stormer. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. So I just want to ask, how do you find Malaysia so far? Are you enjoying how the sea crowd is like?
Yeah, absolutely. So Malaysia in general has been super nice. The people are really heartwarming, and I have the impression that the people are really like just super nice and welcoming guests. For like especially when you go to have dinner somewhere or lunch or even just at the stage, they're really heartwarming and open. So it's been a blast so far. Yeah.
That's great to hear, man. So did you get a chance to like walk around and do other things besides just competing?
Not yet. I mean, we got kicked out yesterday. I'm intending to go to Kuala Lumpur tomorrow to visit the city. But so far, I mean, we have done some of the attractions at the park here, at the fun park. So the main impressions we only got from like playing the group stage and just meeting people at lunch, dinner, and the main venue, meeting a lot of fans. And But yeah, not so much yet, but looking forward to it.
Okay, so moving towards Entity, I understand that this is just a second LAN for you guys and the first in its full roster. And since we haven't gotten a chance to talk to you guys officially, could you walk us through how this roster came together and how things happened when you signed with them?
So on the very beginning, I mean, Entity was built up from the old Creepwave roster, or was left of it.
Yeah.
So it was Fishman, Kataomi, Suzuya back then, and also the coach Metrim, and the manager Noah behind the scenes. Basically, after last year's TI, Noah, like the manager, contacted me and Toby and were asking if we were interested to play with them. And back then it wasn't obvious with what org we were gonna sign, but the team roster sounded very promising. Back then it was Crystallis, Fishman, Kataomi, Toby, and me. So yeah, with and they had a lower division slot from the previous team ITB. So yeah, we as players just decided to sign with them, and then we also got the contract with the org Entity, which is just a very good org so far. They're holding up the promises and offering us boot camps and such. So I guess it was just basically the rest of Creepwave and 2 new players. And then, of course, unfortunately, Crystallis got picked up by Team Secret. After the second tour, we didn't have the best results, so he decided to switch to Team Secret, which is obviously a very well-known org and a tier 1 org, so we could understand it. So honestly, the time got a bit hectic, and we had a little bit of troubles. We were looking for carrier players in between the seasons, which is obviously not easy. There's not too many free agents between the second and third tour. But then we got across Pure. Of course, he had the one moment where he got kicked off VP because of some unfortunate events. But we talked to him. We made sure that his intentions when he did that thing were good. Like he meant no harm and everything. And we spoke to him, and we got a really good impression of him. So that's when we decided to pick up Pure, and yeah, that's how we got here basically.
And moving on to TI11 qualifiers in Western Europe, like we know like there's going to be a lot of juggernauts there. Does that bring any added pressure to you guys, or you just feel none of it at all?
Because of the good teams, you're saying?
Yeah, like so there are teams like Nigma, Secret, and Liquid. How does that make you guys feel knowing that you'll potentially be facing one or if not all of them?
I mean, of course, the LAN is pretty stacked, or the region is probably the most stacked regionals out of all of them. But these 2 LANs give us quite some confidence, especially the Arlington one, because it was the first one. And we can also see, of course, the results of other teams. We can see that other teams like Team Liquid are not doing so well. Nigma is also doing like okay-ish. They, in our opinion, or in my opinion, they performed below expectations maybe. Would expect to do better here at ESL. So of course it's going to be a high competition at the regional qualifiers, but we're going in there confidently. We think like we are at least like we are up there in the European teams. We have no reason to believe that we're worse than Secret, Liquid, or Nigma. So I think if we're playing our best, we're going to make it to TI for sure.
All right. So what is the team's plan after the tournament? Are you guys straight away going to boot camp, or are you guys heading back to your hometowns, taking a break and resetting for the qualifiers?
First of all, we're going to go home for a bit because we have been to Arlington or to Malaysia. So we're going to take a few days off, maybe 2 or 3, or we'll see. And then, we will go straight back into scrimming. We want to go in boot camp, but it's still a bit in the stars if it's going to happen, because also some of our players, they have already reached the maximum amount of days with the visa in Europe. So for example, our bootcamp is located in Poland, but Kataomi would not be able to be on the bootcamp because the visa ran out. So we have to look for plan Bs, other locations where we could bootcamp. But yeah, if it's going to be possible, we're going to do it. Otherwise, we'll just pay for home and give our best.
Okay. And touching back on ESL Wang Genting, we know like patch 7.32 dropped like a day after day 1, right? And I know it caught a lot of teams by surprise, but how did you guys react to it?
We knew the patch was coming, so we were expecting it to come during the LAN. Of course, we didn't know when exactly, and we also did not know what is going to change. Everything struck us by surprise. We were really comfortable in the patch before 7.3. What is it, 3.2?
3. Now it's 3.2. Before that was 3.
No, now it's 7.32.
Yeah,
right?
now it's 7.32.
Exactly. So before 7.32, we were extremely confident in the patch. Our drafts were very well rounded. So and we went 4-0 on the first day of group stage. I think the patch has hit us pretty hard. Of course, I mean, that probably goes for many teams. We especially just felt very confident, and we had to come up with new ideas all of a sudden. And especially game 2 of the group stage was pretty tough for us. That's why we landed in the lower bracket eventually, having tough losses against Thunder Awaken and also Secret.
Yes.
So the patch, I mean, in the end you can say every team got hit the same way, like everybody had to adapt quickly. It was a fun experience too, being in the tournament, having to adapt really quickly. You learn a lot from it, like you have to come up with ideas in a short break of time. Me personally, reminded of writing a surprise exam at school actually, like all of a sudden in a short period of time you have to come up with answers you didn't see it coming. So yeah, it was of course a fun experience, even though I think if the patch would not have happened, our results at this event would have been better.
And I gotta ask, so do you miss the small camp in the mid lane ever since it's been gone?
There's something to it being gone. After the first day of the patch, when it didn't go so well, I definitely missed it because I was so used to it. But of course, it's adding a new spice. I was looking forward to a new patch. I'm a big fan that just something changed. Of course, mid feels a lot more like. You can cheese the enemy a little bit better. You can abuse if the enemy has a tough matchup on you, because the easy camp gave you ways to like come back in a matchup or at least draw it even if the matchup is hard. So it became more skillful in that way, like old school style. It's funny because I played more years of Dota without the small camp, and now it feels like I've played with it forever and I don't know how to play without it anymore. But yeah, I'm looking forward to experiment more, and it gave me a lot more will or passion about like playing more pops and just learning this new patch.
And with the new patch, who would you say on the team is like the brainiest in terms of theory crafting, potential lineups, or team compositions and play styles?
I think almost everybody equally, honestly. Like the moment the patch comes out, everybody is looking at numbers, looking at what could be changed. Every day is coming up with, oh, this hero is so good, or this hero is so bad. Many times people are a bit overexcited, saying like, oh, this hero is absolutely trash now, and then one day I have to completely prove it wrong, and this hero is actually first pick. So no, I don't think anybody's lazy about it. I know that Toby is a person that like loves the numbers. He looks at win rates and everything like this, and he's like instantly like, oh, this hero's great. Probably I'm gonna play 10 pops on it and stuff like this. If I would have to choose one of them, but honestly, it's a tough guess. I think
everyone puts in the work, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So besides winning TI, what other Dota 2 milestones do you look to achieve?
I mean. TI by far the biggest, honestly. It's hard to think beyond that. For me personally, I would just love to stick with the team for as long as possible, seeing where you can grow as a team for over a longer period of time. This iteration of Entity, of course, it's now like the main roster is like 10 months old maybe, but with Pure it's only like 2 months old. We basically play one LAN event and one DPC season. So I would love to see where we can get if we keep playing longer after TI as well. Just not a specific milestone like that tournament, this tour, just to see how we can grow over the next period of time, but of course TI is like the first thing in your brain right now.
Definitely. All right, so this will be my last question. Who do you think in your mind will take home the trophy this day?
I think Secret. Nisha has really impressed me with this mid lane performance. Like, of course, I got to play it against him myself, but I think Nisha is absolutely on fire this tournament. Like, he has confidently beaten a lot of good mid laners that I look up to. So,
like mechanically, one of the top 5, top 3.
Absolutely. I think Nisha is, if he's playing his best, can be one of the most consistent players ever. I think Secret is can be really happy that they have a player that's so consistent and like doing a good job on mid lane. So if I would have to choose a team, it's definitely Secret after what I've seen here.
All right. And lastly, do you have any messages for any Entity fans out there?
Yeah, thanks of course for cheering for us. Actually, it's amazing to have fans at all. We're not used to this.
Oh no, you found a lot of new ones here.
All of a sudden, you just go on the street or go anywhere and people want to take pictures with you. It's I don't know what's happening. So it's definitely nice. No, having all these people cheer for you, and also online on Twitter, so many wholesome people. You make the Dota life so much more fun, and so much more makes the players so much more grateful for what they're able to do. So thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for your time, Somsummer.
Thank you as well.
And